we scoured the country trying to find a suitable place for F4 or Air National Guard fighter training. And we came across an old abandoned Air Force base in Klamath Falls, Oregon. And it was sitting here with most of the buildings intact, beautiful weather, and as it turned out, just a terrific community. So we got in a little airplane. There were 5 of us, and we drove around. We had 5 sites to take a look at, things like New Orleans and North Dakota, Boise, places like that. We landed at about 2 or 3 in the afternoon here, and we drove up, taxied into the ramp, got out, and the Klamath County Chamber Ambassadors were sitting there on the tarmac with big welcome, hey, how you doing sign. They gave us a little do that night, a little cocktail party. But on the airplane back to the Pentagon, the conversation focused, well, it was a facility, very suitable with minor modifications, but the community support and the community input on just that, 3 or 4 hour touching base with each other, that was the topic of conversation all the way home. And that started it. So we decided to come here, decided to build it, decided to move into Reserve Force F4 training school.
Welcome to Shaping the Basin. I am here today with Steve Harper. Steve, thanks for being here.
Sure, my pleasure.
Tell me, what branch did you serve in?
Well, little background, a little history on how Kingsley got resurrected.
Yes.
From the active duty base that it was starting in the late 50s. At its heyday, it had 3,000 plus people. It was a major impact on the basin. Gradually slowed down, late 60s, 70s. In the early 80s, about 1981, I was working in the National Guard Bureau as the F4 program manager. And at that time, the active duty Air Force was in transition to the F-15, F-16, getting out of the F-4. F-4 was going to the reserve forces. And the active duty people didn't want to do any more training for the F-4. So they wanted to build a training base. So we scoured the country trying to find a suitable place for F-4 or Air National Guard fighter training. And we came across an old abandoned Air Force base in Klamath Falls, Oregon. And it was sitting here with most of the buildings intact, beautiful weather, and as it turned out, just a terrific community. So we got in a little airplane. There were 5 of us, and we drove around. We had 5 sites to take a look at, things like New Orleans and North Dakota, Boise, places like that. We landed at about 2 or 3 in the afternoon here, and we drove up, taxied into the ramp, got out, and the Klamath County Chamber Ambassadors were sitting there on the tarmac with big welcome, hey, how you doing sign. Mm-hmm. They gave us a little do that night, a little cocktail party. But on the airplane back to the Pentagon, the conversation focused, well, it was a facility, very suitable with minor modifications, but the community support and the community input on just that, 3 or 4 hour touching base with each other, that was the topic of conversation all the way home. And that started it. So we decided to come here, decided to build it, decided to move into the Reserve Force F4 training school. But I say a huge portion of why we're here instead of Boise or North Dakota or New Orleans is the Klamath County Ambassadors and all their buddies.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I've heard that the community piece was a driving factor.
That was a big factor.
Yeah, I have to admit, I did not know it was our ambassadors.
Well, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was long before me.
Yeah, you weren't born then.
I was born, but I was very young.
And in so we were coming here in a National Guard unit. We are permanently stationed at the base that you're on. You don't leave after 2 or 3 years. And what we were used to in Klamath Falls was the active duty base, several thousand people. Every couple of years, they'd be gone and somebody else would take their place. I mean, that's just the way the military works.
Yeah.
But but we went around the town trying to convince people that if they had a person move in next door to them in uniform, get ready because they'll be there forever. They're not leaving in 3 years. So if he turns out to be a jerk, too bad. You got him forever.
You got him forever.
So trying to convincing people or just exposing ourselves to the fact that we are permanent residents of the Klamath County, the Basin, and we will be here essentially forever. That was some interesting dynamics there.
Yeah, that does make our community unique, that people stay here, right?
And in that portion, yeah, I mean, we have reserve force bases all over the country, but it was unique to us because we had transitioned out of a pretty big operation, active duty operation, to an Air National Guard, Oregon Air National Guard operation.
Yeah. Is that when you came to Klamath, was during that time?
Yeah.
So you did not grow up here?
No. I'm from Florida.
Okay. So that trip when you flew in to see it, that was your first time in Klamath Falls?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And besides the community, was there anything else about the community that stuck out to you?
Well, you just look around.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just gorgeous. I'd been in the Air Force for almost 20 years when we made the trip out here, but born and raised in Florida, where our biggest hill was 200 miles from my backyard, and it was 25 feet elevation. Yeah. So, but the beauty of the place, we stayed at Molitor's, and you'd stand out there in the back. Yeah, I'd make the jaunt around by the lake. Watch all the smoke from the fireplaces going up.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah. And then you chose to stay here in this community even after you.
Yeah, well, I retired. I retired personally. We retired in 93.
You stayed in that
30 years in the service, and we stayed here. It was essentially, I'll paraphrase a little bit, but it was by and large, we're sitting around. I have 4 kids, and they went from 10 to 3 when we moved in town. And in 93, we were sitting around the dinner table and saying, well, retiring in a couple of months, I think I could probably go back to Texas or back to Virginia or a couple other places. You guys have where you want to go? And it basically was, we don't care where you go, Pop, but we're staying here. Because they had, spent their formative years. Well, 10 years.
Yeah.
And they, the 3 boys and a girl, and the boys are all turned into be avid outdoors people.
Yeah. When you, so the base was pretty much abandoned in the.
Pretty much abandoned.
Yeah. So what was it like to build that back up?
Interesting.
Yeah.
We rebuilt that whole base. This is one of the things that went into it. Rebuilt that whole base to be fully functional for $12 million.
That seems like a bargain.
It was a huge bargain at the time, particularly when you consider some of the stuff we're doing for the F-35. I don't think $12 million could buy a door.
Probably not.
Yeah. But fully functional for a couple of $1 million.
How long did it take?
Well, it was essentially move in, by and large. We had to renovate all the maintenance facilities. That took a couple of years, basically, to take that hangar, World War II facility.
Mhm.
We tore down the old squadron ops building, new building, several new places, but $12 million worth of stuff.
Yeah. It took a little while.
A couple of years going on.
Yeah. And then was it after you retired? I know you came and worked at the chamber for a while.
Yeah, after I retired, couldn't get a job, so I went to work at the chamber.
What was that like?
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah?
It was interesting, yeah.
I'm curious because that's what I do now, and I'm curious what your experience was like.
Well, you're surrounded by civilians, so it's your learning curve is very steep.
Yeah. Can you tell me a story from that time?
We had our weekly meetings with the board, and most of the board, all of the board are, working people with either jobs or businesses. So we had 7 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Because they all think, the consensus was, and I inherited this one, but there were about 6 months, and somebody came up to me and said, these things are too early. Why can't we have them later? Why can't we have them after, lunch or something? I said, well, 7 o'clock seemed to be an appropriate time. I figured 6 would be better, but I didn't think you'd do that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really fun to watch the chamber grow and focus in on a small business,
Mm-hmm.
which we thought was the main focus of what it should be. Training, doing things like this. This is amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. We didn't have electronics then, so.
Yeah, it's kind of fun for me to go back. I find, like even from the 1920s, there's books full of minutes that were, you imagine somebody was sitting at a typewriter typing them up, and in some ways things seem so much easier now than then.
Oh yeah. So much more efficient and better and more. And
yeah.
Yeah.
Was there something you did at the chamber that really that you remember fondly, or a moment at the chamber that was interesting?
Well, we had a very fascinating. We were kind of set up. We had Casita, and we had the chamber, and we kind of had an unwritten split of duties. In that Casita, they would go out and they would try and gather up the big companies as much as they could. Sykes being one of their major hits, the call center. Chamber, we kind of focused in on the small business, the 3, 4, or 5 person shop. In fact, I was always most interested in somebody that comes up here and goes duck hunting in Tule Lake and brings his 10-year-old son with him and decides he's going to move his shop to Klamath Falls. You get folks like that interested in the area. A great deal what happened to us. But our small business portion of it against the large business portion, all these things were hitting about the time that the World Wide Web was starting. So the chamber sent me off to a seminar, probably, I don't know, 90 or something like that. But we had the gas company was bringing the pipeline across the mountain, and they were going to dig a big trench. So it seemed to us that if they were going to build a big trench, they should be able to save a little space for a fiber optic cable and bring internet to Klamath County.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't imagine what that did. It's never been done before, that I was told. This is a big hole in the ground. Just save us a little bit. So U.S. West and the Pacific Gas and the gas company, they worked it out. Chamber ran a survey. They sent out a survey to all the members. Would the internet be useful to you? Basically, fill in the blanks. And just by chance, they were talking. The Casita folks were talking to Sykes, the call center company, and they said, "Well, we'd like to build a call center there, but you have to have internet. You have to have fiber." Our communications at the time was just microwave towers from here to Medford.
Mm-hmm.
And in bad weather, many times they'd go down. So we had a chance to put that effort together with the chamber effort together with, you got the hole there open, let's stick a cable in it.
Mm-hmm.
And they did.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting.
It's easy to get lost. Don't know which path to take, what to post. In the social media jungle, video is king. Your kids are obsessed, your customers are addicted, we're all hooked, and social media sites prioritize videos. So when you're ready to stand out from the crowd, reach out to 40 Deuce Films. Feeling over everything.
That is interesting.
I went up one time, you've seen them on the side of the road there, but digging a hole to the top of the Cascades, they're bringing up boulders the size of Volkswagens.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's just unbelievable construction job.
Oh, that's interesting. I did not know that either.
No.
You're teaching me some things over here.
But that was fun.
Yeah.
You happen to need fiber, and you happen to say there's a business case for it you could make eventually, and the two, they came together. It was really kind of fun.
Yeah. I love that story of collaboration and how people can come together and see those needs and piece things together.
Oh, yeah.
That's even the story of Kingsley getting that new mission was kind of a result of that. Someone noticed this empty base out here, and then the ambassadors are showing up. I just love that idea of collaboration.
Yeah.
So
And it worked.
yeah. And you owned a business in town too.
Yeah, the family did. Yeah, one of my sons ran it for almost 20 years. Yeah, dry cleaning business. Yeah.
Yeah. So, was that while you were at the chamber too? Or was he?
No, that was when I was in the legislature.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, let's talk about that a little bit too. You have a life of service. You did the military, some chamber service, and then you did legislature.
Yeah,
you were elected.
That's called not being very smart.
Yeah? Why?
Yeah.
What made it not very smart?
Oh, I was trying to retire.
What made you run?
3 days of tequila drinking.
Yeah. What?
We had, part of the duties as the commander of the base was community interaction. So I just wound up, or the figure just wound up going to economic development meetings and chamber meetings and various things. So, I had one of Dick Wynn's friends, Ted Abram. When I was at the chamber, we would have lunch together several times a week and talk about different stuff. And the representative at the time was a guy named Bob Smith. And I just got recruited and didn't know any better. So,
how long did you serve in that capacity?
Well, I went to the House for 4 years and the Senate for 4 years, so a total of 8, which is somewhere, I think, in that business, somewhere between 4 and 8 is shouldn't do any more than that, or probably not much less than that either. So,
Yeah. What was that experience like?
it was fascinating, very interesting in that I saw things and learned things and about how our system works or doesn't work on occasion, but how it really is important that you try and get together, but the system is designed to fight each other. I mean, that's just what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But wouldn't trade it. Wouldn't do it again, but wouldn't trade it. So
yeah. What was campaigning like?
I hated that.
I can imagine.
I hated that. I like to approach that as a mechanic approaches a broken motor. Fix the motor and go home. In campaigning, you have to ask people for stuff. I just didn't like it. I enjoyed getting out, enjoyed talking to folks, finding out what's going on in their world. That part was nice. But the system, you having to raise money and having to do advertising, had to do all that other stuff. Like giving conversations like this, sometimes it take me half a day to get through the damn thing.
Yeah.
But it was fun meeting people. Met a lot of interesting people.
Yeah. What years did you do that?
That was first session was 97 through 05, 2005.
Yeah.
Over 20 years ago.
That's time has flown.
Hadn't gotten any better.
No, it's probably gotten.
Maybe.
Some people might say it's gotten worse.
They could say that with a clear conscience. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you doing these days?
Whatever I feel like.
I love that. Yeah. What does that look like most days?
Most days, get up late, check the news, check the stock market, go to work in the garden.
Yeah. Are you still really involved in community?
Not really. Kind of back down to a large extent.
Yeah.
There's only so much fun a guy can have.
Yes. What do you think about Kingsley now when you look at all the changes it's gone through?
It's just staggering, stunning what they're able to do, what those folks are out there now. Just unbelievable what they're able to do.
Mm-hmm.
And just everyday business.
Yeah. Are you ever surprised at how it's grown or evolved since you showed up in 81?
Well, pleasantly surprised, but, not surprised actually, because, I know their core values of that system. I know the people that do it or used to and don't recognize them anymore. But I mean, there was a baseline there that doesn't surprise me a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just happy to see it.
Yeah. Their level of excellence is incredible.
So much smarter than we ever were. It just makes you crazy.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your service in all those areas, and thank you for your time today.
Well, you're welcome.
I really appreciate you sharing some of those stories and everything you've done for the community.
Well, they did a lot for me.
Yeah.
For us. Yeah. They raised my children.
Mm-hmm. What was it like raising? I mean, how old were your kids when you came here?
10 to 3.
That's what
The 4 of them, yeah.
Yeah. And this is a good place to raise kids.
Well, we came from D.C. area, Northern Virginia.
Yeah.
I mean, it was suburbs. It was family suburbs, but it was still that area.
Yeah.
But got them here, and I think it was. I'm happy we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're happy we did. I got 2 of them still here.
Yeah. Did they end up serving in the military?
I've got 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
One of them had a full retirement, fact, he's back in D.C. He worked finished up in the Pentagon, and he's working now for the military-industrial complex. He's one of those guys.
One of them.
And in my oldest, he was a active duty pilot and private pilot for years.
How many kids do you have?
4.
4. So 2 served and 2 did other things.
And Matt, the one that ran the cleaners, he stayed here. He was never going to leave and will never leave.
Yeah.
And then our daughter, she's an accountant, married a guy from Montana in their accounting firm. And so she's in Montana now with her 5 children.
Yeah. That's how many grandkids do you have?
10.
10. I have you beat.
Really?
I have 13 grandkids.
You started early.
I married someone older. Well, I do appreciate your time today and everything that you've done. I just have a couple more questions that I'm asking all of our veterans. We're doing this as part of America's 250th birthday.
Yeah, good for you.
And so these are questions I'm asking all of our veterans. But one of them is, as America hits 250 years old, what do you hope America remembers?
Well, I hope we remember how we started. It served us successfully for several hundred years. And it doesn't seem like that we are remembering that very well as a nation. So let's just kind of go back to the basics. Take care of each other best we can. And try not to battle each other.
Wise words. What does patriotism mean to you?
It means standing up for your country and standing up for your country mates. We are patriotic because we love this place. We love what it represents, and we'll fight to keep it.
Yeah. Do you have a role model?
Well, I kind of like Patton.
Yeah.
Patton and Robin Olds. Those are both military figures, but I spent 30 years in the military, so.
Yeah. What stood out about them?
They would do what needed to be done, and they would do it with just a set of skills that are extraordinary. But they were super patriots.
Yeah, they were. Well, I appreciate your time today.
Sure.
Thank you.
That it?
That's it. That's what I got.
Happy hour starts in 10 minutes.
Well, then it's a good time to end it, right? Thank you for your time.
Yeah, you bet,
I really
Heather.
do appreciate it. And thank you to our producer, 40 Deuce Films.